I is for Sean Main, and this is Bud Notes News.
DBFM Entertainment. DBFM Entertainment. Your brain is for Sean Main. Your brain is for Sean Main. DBFM Entertainment.
Bud Notes News is a news coverage covering the reform of cannabis on a national, state, and global scale, focusing on health, products, hemp as a resource, and the legal reform progress. Wanting to stay away from the recreational side, although I do partake and enjoy and promote. But I want to remove the negative stigma of stoners with the word cannabis. When you hear the word cannabis, I want you to think of a plant. Like when you think of the word wheat, you don't think of drunk people, you think of a plant blowing in the breeze in a field, or maybe cereal or straw. But anyway, Bud Notes News. Forgive the informal background in this simple room, as I'm about to move from Brooklyn, New York to Chicago, Illinois, where the more permanent studio will be, and we'll be able to develop things better in that way. But just wanted to get a couple video in for some nostalgic reasons, and looking back, you'll be able to say those were the first couple episodes recorded in Brooklyn, as this is an incredible place. But regardless, each episode will focus on different aspects. This one's going to be some legal things. Another episode will focus on different products, and then we'll focus on health issues. And there's so much regarding this plant, and that's why I really love studying it. Is everything from chemistry to industry to agriculture to farming to furniture to construction to law to health to body to oils and substances and consistencies and extraction methods, and it's unbelievable. Science, electricity, it's unbelievable how much this plant covers, and I can't get enough. I love studying, I love learning, I love all that thing. So we will cover all these sorts of things, provide a resource for people who want to learn about cannabis, because that's my biggest thing. It's just providing information to remove the misinformation about the plant. It's usually just that you get stoned from it, which is silly. My main resources are normal, the Marijuana Report, Leafly, Green Flower Media, and Dope Magazine. I get their weekly articles, their weekly newsletters that include many different articles, and some I enjoy more than others, and I segregate on my own personal opinion, in which I bring to you. So this is not exclusive. I'm going to try to stay away from my opinion as much as possible and just relay information. Although I'll add a little bit of my own spice to it naturally, you know what I'm saying? This is the DBFM Entertainment channel, and I is for Sean Main. So I hope you enjoy it. But either way, today we're going to talk about some legal stuff. Specifically, a senator from New Jersey named Cory Booker and his bill introduced into Congress, and the lawsuit against Jeff Sessions, Mr. Rosenberg, Chuck Rosenberg, the DEA, DOJ, and the USA. You know what I'm saying? DBFM. But let's first talk about Cory Booker. Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey. I have not heard of him before this. I need to do more research into him. We will be talking about him for a while, so the next time we revisit this topic, I will know more personally about him, his background, his motives, and things of the nature. He seems to be gaining a lot of ground in his efforts, which always makes you skeptical. Why are you so nice? Why are you doing so well in such a dirty industry, huh? You dirty yourself, guy? We trust you though. So let me look into it a little more and get back to you on that. But either way, he's introduced a bill to remove cannabis from the Controlled Substance Act completely, not to just reschedule it from 1 to 2 or 3, but to remove it completely, as I agree with, but also focusing on the racial inequality regarding cannabis. According to MIC.com, there have been a lot of continued segregations in regard to cannabis in the legal or eased states, where it's medicinal, but there's still more Latinos and blacks being pulled over and searched, or even where it's full out legal, there's still a high ratio against white people who are getting pulled over and arrested and things of the sort. And even in states where it's fully illegal still, but again, either way, we can't just decriminalize cannabis and then still segregate against certain racial groups, which is ridiculous. So a part of his bill is to create an incentive, a federal incentive, a financial incentive for states who will actively be involved in ensuring that their police departments equally punish people. Not so much not punish people, but whoever they're punishing has got nothing to do with their race or skin color. If you think they're driving stoned, if you think they got weed in the car, regardless of who they are, how they sound, you search or you don't. Now, exactly how states will apply this and how they will show it to federals, I don't know. That'll get all worked out. That's out of my reach. But either way, the bill says that. And this incentive will be funds to provide things for job training, for post-prison re-entry services, getting back into society from prison, libraries, and youth programs. So they want to not only remove cannabis from the Schedule 1 and allow people to use it as a medicine, which it should be able to, but they want to help children, public libraries, prisoners get out of jail and get back into society, and people get jobs. So you telling me people who smoke weed don't like jobs? When there's this federal effort or an attempt to create federal effort for people to be better at their jobs and to get jobs and to get jobs out of prison in connection with making cannabis legal. Now we have seen that Colorado specifically has been incredibly successful with their tax revenues. I believe they just hit over 500 million in tax revenues since they've started, which was 2012, which is about 5 years. So it's almost 100 million a year. That's incredible. That's almost that's a little over 8 million a month in tax revenues. That's unbelievable. But not all states have done that great. Forgive me, I forget which state exactly, but there have been some states where it's medicinal and they're just not doing that well based upon the nature of the demographic of their states. Not everyone's smoking weed everywhere. A lot of people are. 25% of the country is now legally doing it in regards to states that have it decriminalized or fully legalized in whatever sense. But again, the taxes are not just a uniform, definite, great revenue, but in most of the situations it has been immaculate. And Illinois has been seriously considering adopting this for tax revenues for 2018 because Illinois is in a financial crisis. And I'm about to move back there, so I'll be definitely a part of that effort to have Illinois be selling weed to make some money off of it in a serious medicinal tax basis. When a friend of mine and I went out to Colorado and bought some cannabis at about 28% tax, didn't even care because it was still cheaper than what we would have bought it off the streets. So the tax rates are incredibly high, but they don't matter because the price paid anyway is still considerably lower than we would have gotten it off the street. So point being, back to Cory Booker, back to this federal incentive program, back to this bill he's introduced. It's a great effort. I applaud you, Mr. Booker. I support your efforts. Keep it moving, keep it going, way to go. Regardless of the outcome, although hoping it's good, it's cool that these things are happening, that all this attention is coming to cannabis and all these people are starting to agree and understand and all this education is coming out. And it's getting hit from so many levels. Because we've always known that cannabis wasn't bad, but we've just been talking about it. Or it's just been an opinion that we know deep inside, but everybody else in the public is saying it's bad, so we're not going to talk out against it. But now, I believe it's 80 or 90% of Americans agree that marijuana should be used at least medicinally, if not fully legal, recreationally. And this effort by Mr. Booker is another representation of that. So thank you, sir. Keep it going. We'll let you know how things go with it. Now, a lawsuit against Jeff Sessions, a man named Chuck Rosenberg, the United States Department of Justice, the DEA, and the USA as a whole. It's an 89-page complaint, which I have not read in full yet, but I will by the time we cover this again. It was filed by Marvin Washington, which is a former NFL player, an 11-year-old named Alexis Bortel, who's represented by her father, Dean Bortel, because she's only 11. And she had an epileptic disorder that was very severe, and she had to move from Texas to Colorado to be able to get her medicine. And she's, I believe, over 800 days, some 860 plus days seizure free because of cannabis. That's immaculate. How can you deny that? And a 6-year-old named Jagger Cote, C-O-T-T-E, which is represented by his father, Sebastian. And young Cot has Lee's disease, which is a neuropathic disorder attacking the central nervous system. Forgive me, I don't know much detail about this child specifically, nor the disorder specifically, but I'll try to research it by the time we cover this again. But regardless, we got an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. We'll talk about the other plaintiffs in a minute. But the fact that we got an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old is so cool to me, because it's easy to have former NFL Joe, an attorney, and then the other two guys we're talking about, to have all these adults and all these men and all these suits and ties and shit come at each other. That's easy. That's typical. It's common to talk with a man in a suit, even a woman, but you know what I'm saying, just that full-bodied adult. Easy to talk and say, yeah, and ba-da-ba, no, and this and that, I don't care about your research, this is how it's gonna go. But when you have two children in the courtroom, in the case, one of them who has seizures constantly, and who now hasn't had a seizure for almost 3 years because of cannabis, and a 6-year-old who can control their pain and function throughout the day because of cannabidiol, because of a simple constituent from a simple plant that doesn't even get them high in any sense. They're children, not getting them high. That's undeniable, and that's incredible. Both socially, the fact that children are on here fighting for the use of this plant, and just the effect of that on the overall situation and the plaintiffs regardless. Now again, this is against the Attorney General and the DEA and the DOJ in the USA. Now, if they really want to, they can brush this aside and pull some strings and do some things and get it taken care of. That can happen regardless. But regardless of that, there are 2 children on this list. That leaves an essence that I love. I'm so glad they're on there, and I'm glad that these children are aware and taking effort to be a part of this. But let's move on. I don't really like to express my opinion too much. The other plaintiffs are a disabled military combat veteran, Jose Balen, forgive me sir, B-A-L-E-N, and a association called Cannabis Cultural Association here in New York. And I had heard of them some months ago, and I've seen their involvement. They're very active, they're very involved, I love it. And they've promoted an event that I've been to that was great. Like I said, I see them all over the place, but I thought they were just kind of an activist sort of group. And not to, denote that in any sense, but like I said, I thought they were just kind of making noise. And when I saw them on this lawsuit, I was so impressed. Not that I wasn't before, but now I'm even more impressed. Because as I've said before and will say again, I like action. Talk is necessary, meetings are necessary, research is necessary, protests in a sense are necessary. But at the end of the day, you need to introduce a bill, you need to introduce a lawsuit, you need to get some serious things happen. You need to make action and do things to make these things change. Talking about it and showing proof and just saying that it's a great resource isn't gonna do a damn thing. So, thank you Cannabis Cultural Association. Keep it moving. Thank you Jose Balen, forgive me again. He is a disabled military combat veteran, PTSD. Unable to get to his medicine, travel with his medicine, all these complications associated with a simple medicine. And he is a veteran who is now disabled because of protecting this country. His life is extremely compromised because of this country. And to come home and not be able to use the one thing that alleviates you from the disability you achieved from defending this country because of the country is mind-boggling. So thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your presence. There are so many layers and degrees on this list of plaintiffs. You got an activist group, you've got a famous person with the NFL player, you got children, and you've got veterans. This is beautiful. Keep it moving, guys. Good luck. They're represented by an attorney, Michael S. Hiller. And again, they're against Jeff Sessions, Charles Rosenberg, DOJ, DEA, and USA. This is from the Cannabis.co. It was filed July 24th of this year, 2017. So, again, I'll cover it more. I'll learn more about each plaintiff's situation. I'll read the actual complaint and get back to you on it next time within a couple weeks. But this is a lawsuit. It takes a long time. Things move slow. A lot of review, a lot of replies, a lot of responses. I used to work in a law firm. It's annoying. But either way, cannabis is getting hit from every corner. And Jeff Sessions is trying so hard to revive, regurgitate, resurrect the old reefer madness mentality. He's comparing cannabis with heroin. We're not even going to focus on him as an individual. That doesn't matter. What he represents. I'm hoping he's just the front man for a bunch of silent parties who are trying to keep this whole stigma going, because it's ridiculous. Comparing cannabis to heroin? You can't compare anything to heroin, let alone cannabis. But anyway, we're going to keep my opinion out of it. We'll let the facts speak. We'll let this lawsuit speak. So hopefully we don't get a crooked judge. Hopefully we don't get a couple back sideline payoffs, things going on. Hopefully this is an honest lawsuit and gets through it honestly, because it should honestly work. And there's no reason why it shouldn't work, because cannabis is not dangerous. It's not a drug. It's not, Schedule 1 says no medicinal possibilities and highly addictive, amongst other things. And both of those are flat out lies, incorrect. So again, this isn't about opinion. It's about fact. I'm trying to withhold my own opinion throughout this, but it'll come out at times. But regardless, this is about fact. And there are multitudes of research, multitudes of studies from different countries, from respected organizations, countries and nations, and even a continent, Australia, and even Canada right up north, Mexico right down south, Canada, California, Colorado, bunch of sea places, but beautiful. Regardless, things are happening. I love it. Support it. I love NORML because they're in the offices. They're in the courtrooms. They're doing things properly. They're a law firm. You know what I mean? National Organization on the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Support them in whatever way you can. Sign up for their Facebook thing. Sign their petitions. Spread it. Share it. Cannabis culture. Hit them up. Association of great people here in New York. Support all the other people. I'm not sure exactly how to. And forgive me. I'm new to this lawsuit as well. And again, to Mr. Cory Booker from New Jersey. I'll look into this guy. So by the next time we talk, I'm going to know more about Booker. What are you doing, Booker? Where you from? What's your intention, huh? You really trying to help these people, or you trying to help someone else who's trying to help you? You know what I'm saying? So, thanks for watching. We covered two main things today, a bill and a lawsuit. Let's keep it moving. Let's hopefully we see these things make some progress and get some actual change with this plant so we can all start enjoying it for its incredible resources that's available from it. Simple as that. Forget getting high. Let's just use this medicine and this resource. Thanks for watching. This is Bud Notes News. I is Vishal Main on the DBFM Entertainment Channel. See you in a couple weeks. Peace.